Right, I'm joined here by Chris the Wolf Thompson, straight off of a sparring session and getting ready for his next fight. Chris, welcome back to SA Boxing Talk. Firstly, congratulations on winning the IBA title. How are you feeling?
Thanks, Hayden. Yeah, obviously feeling good, feeling elated, very happy, to upset the apple cart that side. I told you I was going to do it. I really had a sense in my body that I was going to do it, and don't be under any illusion that I wasn't training. Straight after the SA title fight, I went straight into camp. In inverted commas, I was training hard. So when I got 12 days notice for the fight. Obviously, I jumped at it. I just got back into the sparring, and then we went and we did the business. And to be honest with you, the fight went exactly. It couldn't have gone better according to plan and what I was looking for leading up to next year. And obviously, we got the W.
Your fight career, you've obviously got better as time went on. It's noted that you didn't have a big amateur background when you came in, so a lot of your learnings you've done in the professional ranks. Do you feel like you're coming into the peak of your career and into your own now at this point?
Yeah, look, definitely I'm setting into myself, it's a very cliche saying, but I'm learning on the job, and I'm getting better. The more rounds I do in sparring, the more, obviously you learn the most from a fight. So the more I fight, I'm quite seasoned now. I've had 25 or 26 fights. So I'm quite seasoned, but I've literally only had 25 fights. I had no amateur background. I went straight into the pros. I had one white collar, which was 1 round long. So it's not like I had a very long experience there, and then went straight into the pros. And obviously I've had my losses, but I've stayed true to the path. I've stayed true to the grind. I really do work hard, and I think all that time in the gym and all the time sparring and fighting and taking the risks and fighting Olympic champions and fighting world champions in their hometowns it's paying off now, and I think that's where everybody is seeing it now, but it's been a long time coming.
All right, and coming up now, very short notice, but you said you were training on your holiday in the Philippines, is a fight in Dubai, and it's landed on your doorstep. Can you tell us a little bit more about the format and the tournament that you'll be getting into?
Yeah, so I'm fighting in the IBA World Championships. It's over 2 weeks. You have 3 fights over 2 weeks. It's knockout stages. The fights are 3 rounds long, so it's going to be really hard to stick with my pace for 3 rounds. I think everybody knows I've got really quick hands for heavyweight, and I've got a big gas tank. So obviously myself and my strength and conditioning coach have been working on that. I think it's quite evident that I have a big gas tank and I've got quick hands. So basically we're just going to go let our hands go for 9 minutes, and I don't really see many people being able to hang with my pace, and just kind of drowning them. And then it's a knockout stage. You have 3 fights, and if you win 2 fights, you're in the final.
All right, so looking at that format, is the final more rounds than 3?
No, the final is 3 rounds.
So 3 rounds.
Yeah, so you basically fight 9 rounds over the competition, and then the winner gets crowned the IBA men's super heavyweight champion.
So just to be correct on this, it contributes towards your IBA professional record.
100%. So it's an IBA card. Obviously, it doesn't go on the BoxRec official card, but the opportunity is there, and the IBA are very happy with me. And to be fair, I'm very happy with the IBA, and I'm very happy to be working with them. So we're seizing the opportunity, and we're going to go rob the bank without a balaclava.
And that's amazing, because based off of this last win that you had in the Thriller of Manila 50-year anniversary, obviously this opportunity came up as a result of that.
Yeah. So Umar Kremnev, the president of the IBA, came up to me after the fight, and he basically gave me condolences and said to me he hasn't seen a heavyweight with hands as quick as what my hands were. And I think if anybody watched the fight, they could see I was changing levels with my hands, also going upstairs, going downstairs. And I just knew I had to give it my all. And he came to me and he asked me would I participate in the World Championships, and I said yeah, of course I would. And so they came to the locker room afterwards and they told me about it. And literally the next day I was back. I took the Thursday off. I fought on the Wednesday. I took the Thursday completely off, and the Friday I was back in the gym.
That's amazing. And do you already know sort of who you're going to be fighting in this competition?
No, so the competition starts on the 3rd of December, ends on the 13th of December. The draw, so there's a draw, obviously, it's like there is no pooling, so they basically take names out of a hat. And the draw is on the 2nd of December, and you start fighting on the 3rd.
You fighting how many times in this space?
3 times.
3 times in the space of a week?
10 days.
Just 10 days, sorry.
Yeah.
And so you've never done that before?
No, I've never done that, but I think everybody knows that. Like, I don't shy from challenges, you know. I think actually the tournament style suits me perfectly. And, you know, it's basically like a sprint of basically raw power and speed. So I think that suits me perfectly.
And it's actually a convenient one because Dubai is not so far away from South Africa. It's about an 8-9 hour flight, so that's also easy work.
Yeah, at least it's a direct flight. Listen, this flight from the Philippines was a tough flight. It was a tough challenge. Also, I've arrived the night before weigh-in. I actually slept through the whole official weigh-in.
Sure.
The promoter had to phone me awake. My brother-in-law got married the day before, so I couldn't go to the Philippines when I was supposed to go to the Philippines. I was at my brother-in-law's wedding.
It was in Cape Town.
It was in Cape Town. It was a beautiful wedding, but then I flew out the very next morning after he got married, and we arrived in the Philippines the night before weigh-in. Like I said, I stepped through the official weigh-in. I made it to the media weigh-in at least. Luckily, I'm a heavyweight, so it's not like I had to make scale at a certain time. And, you know, I just, you know, sometimes when everything's stacked against you, you know, you see what kind of a character you have, and I knew I had to get the job done.
By the way, I only know that because I bumped into your family at the airport on my way back from Cape Town to Johannesburg. So I don't know if you knew that.
In Cape Town. Yeah. So yeah, it was a beautiful wedding.
So you've done a lot of traveling. I mean, like in between camps, and you know, like there's a lot of movements.
In 10 days I took 9 flights. So it was a lot of traveling. You can imagine I was very jet lagged when I got back. And then I had 3 weeks to prepare for this tournament, you know. But I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, the time zone difference. Firstly, the Philippines is 6 hours ahead of us, so the jet lag was quite hectic. I'm not going to lie to you, the jet lag was quite hectic, but it suited me because technically we fought in our afternoon time, late evening that side, so it was all right for me. And Dubai is only an hour difference, so, you know, the time zone's only an hour, and the flight's very easy.
I wanted to ask, going back to the Philippines quickly, there was it seemed to be a change in the fight card.
Yes, there was a change in the fight card. So basically what happened was, I was actually standing in the tunnel to come out. I'm sure everybody on TV saw up next my fight, and then we just didn't come out. So the president of the Philippines came to the fight, but the president of the Philippines came for Muhammad Ali's grandson, Nico Ali Walsh. And basically literally said, I don't care who's next, we want to see Ali's grandson now, and literally moved me out of the tunnel and said, okay, well, it's now Nico Ali Walsh's turn. And myself and my opponent were both standing in the tunnel waiting to come out, and as it happened, I said to Shannon, this is going to affect him more than it affects me, you know. Obviously, everybody knows I've taken risks, I've fought all around the world. I've been the B side before, you know, and I handle those kind of situations very well. I'm quite compass mentis about it, and I knew I just wasn't going to let this thing bother me, you know. So I just went to the back, let them have their fight, and then we came out, and, you know, I'm sure everybody could see I was very calm. I knew what I was up against, and I knew what I had to do to get the task done. So there was a bit of a change, but it's boxing, you know. There's a lot of spanners in the works when you box for a profession.
And coming back to South Africa, you jump straight back into sparring. Your usual sparring partner is in South Africa at the moment, so you're sparring with Regan Opanu at the moment.
Yeah, look, obviously Akani's in Serverkov, helping a good friend of mine, Murat Kasif. He will be fighting on the 12th of December in Dubai on the same tournament, but he's having a professional fight against Kubrat Pulev. And so obviously, you know, Damien and I have a very good relationship. He's he's always been here. He's always helped me, and so I reached out to Damien and I asked him for some help with some sparring, and he made Regan available. So, you know, listen, these fights aren't doable without your sparring partners. So I just want to definitely say, a very big thank you to Damien Duran for always being so willing to help me and making plans to help me. And, you know, so Regan's actually been giving me very good work. and I'm sure he's also gaining a lot of experience, you know, working with somebody like me who's a lot more campaigned than what he is. But yeah, you know, obviously when it comes to sparring and heavyweight guys, there are not many guys in the country that you can spar. So, you know, just very grateful to Damien and his team to help me out.
All right, and just going back to the formats, what is our results going to be? Because I can't do
Win.
I can't do 3 interviews, so it's like
Yeah, so look, obviously it's 3 fights in 10 days, and as I said, we're there to, I'm going there to win, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to end the year off on a high. Like I keep saying, you know, I knew it in the beginning of the year. My theme for this year was "and the new." You know, this is not an overnight thing. I've been working, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to do the business, and I'm going to come back with that belt.
Big IBA. And does the IBA journey stop there, or is there still more to
No,
it?
definitely the IBA journey does not stop there.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to working with the IBA. They're good people. The money is exceptional. And the service is exceptional. They look after their fighters, and they look after us very well. They want to work with me. Obviously, when you put on a performance like that against their world champion, Jorge Unidov was or is the WBA Bridgerate world champion, and obviously he must be quite a big token in Russia. You know, they've put in a lot of investments into him, and you know, I went there and I beat him cleanly. And so I think when you do that and the promoter sees that, you know, they're happy with you. And obviously the promoter knew, I told the promoter the whole time, I did this on 12 days notice. Give me a decent camp, give me decent notice, and let's see what can happen. So yeah, I'm definitely going to continue working with the IBA. Does that mean that I won't be boxing on local soil? Definitely not. You know, I think it's quite obvious. I like to fight often, and I like to stay busy.
Yeah, you're a very active fighter, even before this year, but this year just totally has turned up like completely.
Yeah, look, I think everyone always knows I am very active. I seek to fight a lot. You know, it's my profession. There are a lot of professional fighters, but not a lot of guys are fighting, and they like to blame other people. But, you know, I will still campaign abroad, and I will still defend my throne here.
100%. Chris, do you have a message for the South African boxing public about, you know, what you've been doing? And obviously there's been a lot of support, and a lot of us were all watching you and cheering you on as you went along.
Yeah, you know, to say I'm grateful, it wouldn't be enough of a word, you know. I didn't have my cell phone, and I went for a drug test and a medical after the fight, and I would say there was maybe an hour between the time that I got from the ring to the time that I got to my locker room, and I had over 900 messages on my phone. And, you know, like, just I appreciate the support so much, you know. I acknowledge that the eyes are on me at the moment, and I'm not going to make the country disappoint. I'm not going to disappoint the country, you know. I'm not going to disappoint myself, and, you know, I really appreciate everybody's support, and you know, I represent this country with pride. I'm sure everybody could see I came out with a quieter song. If anybody knows me quite personally, they'll know that I am that type of person. So if you know anything about Mlilo, it means don't put the fire. The fire is hot, so don't put out the fire. And, you know, right now the fire is still hot, and there's a fire burning inside of me, and it's hot, and I'm going to just continue, you know, burning as I go into this competition and continue into the new year, you know.
I don't think I've ever heard that song being used as an entrance walkout before. So that's
yeah, Big Nas, you know, classic South African tune, classic Kwaito song, yeah. And just put me in the right mind frame, you know. And like I said, I'm very proudly South African. I represent this country very, very, very proudly, and you know, I just feel that incorporates our people the most. And if you understand what the words mean, like I said, it means the fire is hot, don't put out the fire. The young, the old, they know. Everybody in boxing knows right now, you know, Chris the Wolf is hot.
100%, and we'll be supporting Chris the Wolf in Dubai as he takes on all challenges in 3 fights coming up in the beginning of December over the duration of 10 days. Chris, just lastly, you want to send any thank yous, any shout outs?
Yeah, you know, just thank you to my sponsors, you know. These guys, obviously, I've been very busy this year, and they haven't shied away from helping me this year. So, you know, without my sponsors, without the South African fans, but like always, Hayden, thank you so much. You know, this channel does a big thing for boxing, and so to SA Boxing Talk, thank you. And I put a lot of effort into the fighters and put a lot of getting our name out there. So thank you to SA Boxing Talk.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to your fights, Chris.
Let's go.